Each chakra is an archetype. Find out why or how in this video.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
You have the best person in front of you. Samet has helped me clear stuff that I've been having problems with my whole life. Stuff that was hindering me and it was absolutely blocking all my greatness from coming to greatness. And, you know, I can't thank him enough. It's been such an amazing time. Every week has presented so much fruitfulness.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumet Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy. And I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. 2 days till writing reality, guys. So excited for this. You guys are gonna get so many bonuses on this. It's wild, okay? So, essentially, what I want to speak to you guys about is chakras and archetypes, okay? Now, I believe that this is my real power in what I'm adding or bringing to this self-improvement game. And that is the factor of my program, which is called Flowmosapien, which takes people through different archetypes associated with the chakras, right? And of course, it's going in order. So week 1 is the root chakra, also known as the sovereign. The sovereign is all about the king or the queen energy, the royal energy, right? And that is the foundation. I believe that that is the base for which the other chakras happen, and it's the archetype which is the container for the other archetypes, okay? That you've got to be the king or queen or the sovereign of your own life, okay? Now, I did a chakra clearing this morning. One of my very good friends and healers, Jackson, he did a clear on me. He does energetic clearing, emotional clearing. And so we did some emotional clearing this morning for me, and it just cleared up my chakras. So my aura is going right now, okay? And basically the main one was the throat. I believe I was just held back in my communication. I wasn't saying certain things and communicating with people, and I felt held back, you know, in certain moments where I just didn't feel like opening up, or there was this barrier of giving and receiving from all of them, right? So it's interesting because he went through the chakras and he's talking about giving and receiving on each one and testing each one using kinesiology, muscle testing, which is a very intuitive process. So, you know, I've been through the spiral with him a very long time ago, right? Maybe like 2016, 2017. And it's interesting, you know, to look back now and see the transformation that I've made within that time, but also the fact that he's helping me still. And I've decided, even when he's not doing this high-level coaching stuff anymore, that I still want his services and I still want to hire him because I've noticed such a transformation within that time span. I want to work again. And this is what a great coach does, right? So in a sense, if you were to hire me, I want you to come back to me and be like, yo, I want to keep working with you because I've seen these amazing results and I want to keep getting them. I want to keep expanding them, right? So the thing about this chakra work is you really have to understand like what exactly is happening, right? A lot of this kind of stuff is behind the scenes and it's very hidden. The root chakra, think about it like the root support, muladhara, right? So basically it's your foundation. It is the sense of you feeling grounded, you feeling safe, you feeling like you deserve it. It's also related to survival and sex at some point and money, okay? Money and security. So it's very, very potent, right? If we have a root that's imbalanced, we're going to be very ungrounded people, okay? So my root was good. The areas with which I felt like there was issues was, one, the receiving of the sacral, the giving and the receiving of the heart and the throat, most of all. And the crown. However, the crown, there was a very big sort of epiphany moment for me where I had to read out my perfect day, and that just highlighted what needed to happen at that time. I think that was a great integration for me this morning. So just sharing that with you. But yeah, the sovereign, moving on to level 2, which is the sacral. It's all about the lover archetype, okay? This is about sacred sexuality. This is about creativity and using your expression and being able to move throughout the world. It's the water elements, right? So water element is associated with your emotions and being emotional and being vulnerable and being able to express emotions and express yourself through your body, through dance and things like this, right? It's very flow state. It's very flow state related, right? There's that. Level 3 is the solar plexus, okay? So if you saw the first one was earth, the second one is water, the third one is fire. So solar plexus is like that sunlight energy, willpower, right? It's like that warrior archetype. So the warrior archetype is about going forward, doing things, getting shit done, right? Being able to make things happen. Willpower, discipline, just that drive, right? It's very masculine energy, right? Whereas the previous one was more of a feminine energy, right? So being able to combine the yin and yang of that, right? The sacral moving up to the solar plexus and understanding that. And you can always tune into these areas by just putting your hand or intention near it to notice, what is going on with each one, okay? And of course, there's also meridian points that you can tap if you're into that. But that's my own healing process. I'm not going to share too much in terms of this. However, yeah, if you are interested in that, if you aren't interested in chakra clearing and that program to get you more into the flow state, specifically integrate into the character that you truly prefer to be, that's where you reach out to me and I help you out with that, okay? Moving into the heart. The heart is the jester. So why do I say the jester? The jester is very open-hearted. They use a lot of humor, so they have a big heart. They want to make people laugh, right? So the open-heartedness of the jester really applies as the key archetype here. Because there's also a dormant jester, which is a closed heart chakra, where maybe you were taught you can't laugh growing up, right? It's a taboo or something like this. Or you can't freely open up and be humorous in a certain extent, right? Then you start to understand that that's associated with love, right? Connection, understanding, your heart intelligence as well. So it is basically your remote control for manifestation. So if your heart chakra is blocked, it's very difficult for you to be able to manifest, right? So the next one we have the throat. Now the throat is directly connected to the heart, right? So heart-centered people communicate and their heart is very strong. Their heart chakra is very strong, but it's coming out of their throat chakra and both are buzzing right here, right? So mine was very closed up. Now, as you notice, it's very open and I'm kind of going with my stream of consciousness in this video to explain it to you what exactly is going on, right? It's more fluid if you notice my communication. It's not starting and stopping, it's going with the flow. And that's exactly what happens when your chakras stay open. You become open, you become lighter. You don't carry this heavy burden of the past anymore, right? Sometimes they can get blocked through experience, through time, through memories and things like this, which is why it's great to have a clearing practice where you actually know how to clear yourself, right? Or you figure out like, okay, something like hiring someone who clears it for you or, going through this process is always very beneficial, okay? The next thing to start to notice is the throat. The throat is the seat of expression. This is the messenger archetype, okay? The messenger archetype is also like the public speaker archetype, the person who gets on stage and gives, these vast speeches that shift the world, shift the cosmos, right? So that's that archetype. And essentially the throat chakra is associated with, of course, that sense of expressing yourself, right? Opening up. But also, I believe that it's related to insight and it's a filter to know, but because Visuddha actually means filter, right? So, but it's a filter to know what is your pure truth. So it's associated with truth, with trust, with honesty, with integrity, and communicating that. Okay? So if you're disingenuously communicating, or if you're inauthentically communicating, you're going to have a blocked throat chakra. Okay? I believe it's also related to authenticity. Then we have the third eye, or the Ajna chakra, which is associated with clairvoyance, intuition, perception, however you want to see that, like tapping into all your senses and being able to future project, also related to astral projection and these kinds of things, right? So the third eye is essentially, it sees through BS, it sees through illusion, okay? And this is the oracle archetype, fortune teller, the person who is able to see past illusions in this matrix, right? And I think that's an incredible archetype, because it's like the modern day psychic, right? And it's the psychic creator, right? It's the psychic manifester. So if you can tap into this, the vision, the visionary, right? As well as the heart, and then you have the throat to communicate your manifestation out, well, guess what? You're popping in this world, right? You're actually doing a lot of great things. But some of these lower ones, the lower consciousness, the lower realms, the basal tones, right, might be affected too. So you gotta go in order. That's why in my clearing this morning, I went in order. We went from root, and then sacral, and then solar plexus. So if you go from root all the way to crown, that's for liberation and this freeing feeling. For manifestation, you need to go to crown all the way to root, okay? Because you're taking an idea and you're embodying that idea. Got it? Very easily explained. I mean, I can go more into depth with this, and this is one of these videos where I haven't really talked about chakras much on this channel, so I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much information, because it is, you know, there's a lot of weird stuff about chakras out there that just don't align with me particularly. I know it is in my Hindu culture, in my context, but honestly, there's a lot of Westerners who are kind of taking those concepts and making it something that it's not. But really, if you start to read more about it and start to learn more about it, there is actually such a potent thing there with the wisdom that is already there in regards to them. So understand that, you know, they're all connected. It's the as I called it in my session this morning, like it's a synergy lightning bolt, right? So heart, mind, balls, you know, all of it. When you have all of this just completely aligned, heart, mind, gut, balls, or ovaries, when you have all of those completely aligned, you are an aligned person. Your manifestations are going to be faster. You're going to be more in the state of flow. You're going to be more tapped in to something greater than you, okay? I've noticed this within myself, so I'm just sharing that with you guys, right? The last one is, of course, the crown, which is not an actual chakra. It's a little bit above you, so it's like a few inches above you. If you think of like a halo over your head, right? That's kind of that halo effect that you see in a lot of pictures of like Jesus or Buddha, right? They have this crown chakra, right? This illuminating kind of connection to the divine is basically what it is. So I would connect that archetype to the mystic archetype, okay? The mystic is the one with all the tools, the techniques, right? The one who can tap into the cosmic and bring it down into the physical world. Okay, that is the mystic. They're using magic, or they're using their skill set to make things happen and to shift the world around them. They're the alchemists. They're the ones that can change things around, okay? So the people who are very heady, very in their head, they use their imagination a lot, they fantasize a lot, they have a very overactive crown chakra. Now you can use this to your benefit as well, to make your imagination more vivid, and then to also basically be able to visualize clearer, right, with more clarity. So I have a very active third eye. Actually, it's very potent from what this morning's session was. I wasn't surprised that my root and my third eye were actually very strong, because those are the areas that I've been working on for the past month or so. So very naturally, those ones are strong for me. And it's interesting to notice this, right? Because I am slowly merging the characters. And basically on week 8 of my program, we take all of these characters, and you are the one, the awareness in the boardroom of your mind, where you take all of these different characters that you have, right, of the different chakras, and then you integrate all of them so that you can be the master of all of them, right? So you are this straight line system, right? Jordan Belfort. But instead it's like your alignment of your character. You're completely tapped in, you're stepping in to the role that you truly prefer to be. Okay, so this is the process. I wanted to share this with you guys. If you are interested in that program, that's a 3-month program. I've also shortened it for just 8 weeks if you want, because the 12-week program, which is essentially 3 months, right? In the last month, we focus on cash flow, love flow, focus flow, and creative flow. If you're not interested in that portion particularly, you can still get the one for 8 weeks, which is still going to help you out. It's going to be around 2 months or so. And yeah, for that program, essentially I just take you through, right, 7 weeks of the chakra clearing, and then on the 8th week we do the character integration, as I mentioned. So if you are interested in that, shoot me a message. Hope you enjoyed this video, gave you new perspective. Hope you learned a lot of new things as well. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it today.